Today's story is Mother Hulda. Okay. A long time ago, there was a mother. She was a widow. Widow means her husband had died, and so she was a widow. And this woman had two daughters. One was ugly and lazy, but the other one was very beautiful and very hardworking, industrious. Industrious means hardworking. She was beautiful and industrious. But this lazy and ugly girl was this widow's own daughter, and the other beautiful and hardworking girl was her stepdaughter. And so, of course, the widow really liked her own daughter and did not like the other girl, who was beautiful and industrious. Now, this mother made this girl, the beautiful girl, work very hard. This girl had to work all day, every day, day and night. She had to wash and clean and bake and cook and all sorts of things. And she was the drudge of the family. Drudge means someone who works very, very, very hard. Cinderella of the family. But anyway, this girl was a drudge of the family, and she worked very hard. Now, one day, this girl was sitting by the well. Well is a place where you go and get some water. She was sitting by a well, and she was spinning thread. She was making thread. And when she was doing this, because she worked so hard, her fingers began to bleed. Bleed means when you cut your finger, the red stuff comes out, that bleeding, the blood. She began to bleed. And her spindle is a stick that she used when she was spinning. The spindle became bloody. Bloody means became, the spindle had blood on it. So it became bloody, and so she decided to wash it in the well. So she dipped, put the spindle into the well, and she wanted to wash it. But when she was washing this, she dropped it. And so the spindle went down, 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 down into the bottom of the well. Now she looked into the well, but she couldn't find it. Oh, she was sad, so she began to cry. She began to weep. And then she didn't know what to do, so she went back home and she talked to her stepmother about her misfortune. Misfortune is a very sad accident. And so she talked to her stepmother about her misfortune. Well, this mother became very angry, and this woman began to scold her. She began to scold her, and she scolded her without mercy. Without mercy means she was very unkind. And she became angrier and angrier, and this woman was so angry. In her rage means in her anger, in her rage, she said to this girl, "Go back to the well and fetch the spindle." Fetch means to go and get, okay? Go and get the spindle from the well. The girl didn't know what to do, but she went back to the well, and she sat there and she cried. But then she knew she had to fetch the spindle. In her despair means she was desperate. She felt hopeless. No hope. She felt desperate. And so in her because she was desperate, she jumped into the well. She jumped into the well. And then, of course, she was drowned. She was drowned to death. She died. But she woke up. When she woke up, she was in the meadow. She was sitting in the meadow. Meadow is the grass area, flat area where they got lots of grass. She was sitting there in the meadow, and there were thousands of beautiful flowers around her, and the sun was shining, and it was a beautiful place. And she stood up, and she began to walk, and she was walking. When she was walking, she came to a bakery, a baker's house, and then there was a baker's oven, and inside the oven there was some bread, and the bread began to talk to her, and the bread said, take us out, take me out, take me out, take me out. I am almost burned. I'm done. I'm almost ready to be taken out. If I was here any longer, I will be burned. And so take me out, take me out. So the girl opened up the oven door, and with a bread shovel, she took the bread, all the bread out of the oven. And then she was walking again. She walked farther, and then she came to an apple tree. Then apple tree began to cry out, and the apple tree said, shake me, because these apples are so ripening, it's so heavy, they are so heavy, so please shake me. So she began to shake the apple tree, and then these ripe apples all fell down like rain. And then it came, and then she stopped, she shook everything off of the tree, and so she stopped, and she gathered them all in a big heap, and then she began to walk again. And then she was walking and walking. Finally, she came to a little house. And then there, from the house, out of the window, a woman was peeping out. Old woman was peeping, looking out of the window. And this woman was an ugly woman. She was so ugly. She had big teeth, big teeth were coming out of her mouth. And so this little girl was very scared, and so she began to run away. And then the woman came out from the house and said, wait, why are you running away? Come back here, dear child. And so she turned around and she looked at this woman, and this old woman was an ugly woman, but she spoke very kindly. This old woman spoke very kindly, and she said, if you work for me, you can stay with me, and you'll be happy here. And so, because this woman looked awful, but then she spoke kindly, so this little girl decided to stay with this woman. This woman said, my name is Mother Hulda. Mother Hulda. And she said, you can work for me, you can wash and cook and bake and clean the house for me, and then I want you to make my bed. She said, when you make my bed, you must make my bed well. You must shake my bed so that the feathers will fly about. This is a feather bed. So you must shake this bed very well so that the feathers will fly about. And then when these feathers fly around, then it snows in the world down there. That means this girl died and went to heaven. And she met this Mother Hulda in heaven. Anyway, so every day she worked hard. She cooked and cleaned and washed and made Mother Hulda's bed well. She shook the bed, and then the feathers fly around, and Mother Hulda was very, very happy. Well, this girl stayed with Mother Hulda for a long time, but then gradually the girl became a little bit sad, and she didn't know why she was sad. But then finally she thought maybe she was homesick. So she said to Mother Hulda, Mother Hulda, I want to go home. I am homesick. And then Mother Hulda said, well, it pleases me that you are homesick. She said, I'm happy that you feel that way, that you want to go home. She said, I'll take you home. And so she took her by the hand, and she said, come this way. And so Mother Hulda took this girl, and they walked and walked, and finally they came to a very large door. And then she said, she opened this door, and she said, pass through this door, go through this door. And so she passed through this door, and then suddenly a heavy shower of gold shower of gold means, you know, the gold, the coins were coming down like a shower. A heavy means a lot of golden coins. A heavy shower of gold came down and they stuck on her body, stuck on her body. And then when she went out of the door was shut, and she was all of a sudden very close to her house. She was not far from her house. And so she walked and walked and walked to go to our house. When she was very close to her house, a cock was sitting by the well. And the cock, you know, cock is a chicken, male chicken. A cock said, "Cock-a-doodle-doo, a rich girl has come home too." And so the girl came home. When she came home, the mother, the widow, looked at her, and she was very surprised because this girl had lots and lots of golden coins on her body. And so the mother asked, "What happened?" And then the girl said, you know, she related the story. She told her what had happened. Well, I forgot to tell you, but Mother Hulda gave her the spindle that she had lost she had lost before. Mother Hulda gave her the spindle too. So the girl came home with a spindle that she had lost. And so this widow was very happy. Now this girl was very well received because she had lots of gold on her body. But anyway, the next day, the widow wanted her own daughter to do the same thing. And so this ugly, lazy girl went to the well, and she did not like to spin the wheel, spin the thread, and so she stuck her finger into the thorn hedge. Thorn, remember the thorn is the when you have a rose. Rose has a really beautiful flower, but then there are like that's very. It's like roses have thorns. Okay, when you touch the thorn, it hurts. It's like a needle. And then when you touch a thorn, it cuts your finger and you bleed. And so that's a thorn. But anyway, she stuck her finger into the thorn hedge. Hedge is a wall. Anyway, she stuck her finger into the thorn hedge. And then it bled, and then she put the blood to the spindle, and then she made the spindle bloody, and then she dropped the spindle into the well. Now the spindle, of course, went down, sank to the bottom of the well, and then afterwards this girl jumped into the well. So this girl jumped into the well, and she died. And so when she woke up, she was in the meadow with lots of flowers, beautiful flowers, and the sun was shining. And then she woke up and she began to walk, just like she was told to do. And she began to walk, and she came to the bread oven. And then the bread oven said, the bread in the bread oven said, "Take me out, me out. I am almost done, and if I am here any longer, I will be burned." But the girl said to the bread oven, to the bread in the bread oven, she said, "No, I don't want to make my hands dirty. I don't want to black my hands." Black means to make my hands black. Black my hands. And so she didn't do anything, and she walked by. She went farther, and then she came to the apple tree, and then the apple tree said, "Shake me, shake me. The apples are ripe, and they are too heavy." But the girl didn't do anything about it, and she just walked by the apple tree, and then she came to the little house. Mother Hulda was peeping out of the window, and then the girl was not scared, although Mother Hulda had big teeth, but she was not scared because she knew about it. And so she went in the house, and she said she wanted to be the housemaid, servant. Now, on the first day, Mother Hulda was happy with this girl because this lazy girl was not lazy on the first day. She woke up early and she did lots of things. She cooked and cleaned and washed and baked and shook Mother Hulda's fed her bed really well too. But the second day, she became a little bit lazy, and she didn't do as much as she did on the first day. And then the third day, she didn't wake up in the morning, and so she didn't do very well. And then the fourth day and the fifth day, she didn't work very much. Mother Hulda became tired of her. She grew tired of this girl. She thought, I don't like this girl. I wish this girl went home. And so Mother Hulda said something about it. Maybe it's about time for you to go home. Well, the girl was very happy. She thought, now I'm going to get some money. And so she said, yes, I am homesick. I want to go home. And so Mother Hulda took her to this large door. And then she opened the door. And then she said, Mother Hulda said, pass through this door. And so this girl passed through this door. But when she was passing through this door, not the shower of gold came down, but a kettle came down. A kettle is like when you want to make tea, you boil water in a kettle. Kettle came down, but this kettle was full of pitch. Pitch is a black, oily liquid. The pitch came, the kettle full of pitch came down, and the kettle emptied the pitch over this girl. That means it was the black, oily water was poured down on her, and so she became all black. And then she came home. When she was coming home, the cock was on the well, and the cock cried. Cock said, "Cock-a-doodle-doo, a dirty, lazy girl is coming home too." And so this girl came home, and our mother was not happy because this girl is all black, but this black liquid stuck on her face and her body, and she tried to take it off very hard, but as long as she lived for a long time, but as long as she lived, this black, oily liquid stayed stuck on her face, and she tried to get it off, but she could never get it off. And so this bad girl, lazy, the girl who was idle, the idle girl, lived to be very, very unhappy life. Led a very unhappy life for as long as she lived. But the other girl was very happy for the rest of her life.